3, 2, 1, action.
So the Snyder Cut came out. Scribe, you watched the Snyder Cut with me, right?
Maybe.
Yeah. Was it good?
Maybe.
I'm not a... Did you enjoy the Snyder Cut?
Have you ever run a marathon?
Yes. I'm gonna open it with this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Watching Zack Snyder's Justice League was the most exhaustive movie watching experience I've ever had. This movie, so I say it was an exhaustive experience, but I still enjoyed it, you know? Like, I didn't hate it. I liked it. I enjoyed most of it, but then it felt like a slog. And like the reason I want to do this and like not just make a video saying stuff, because I would script it and I would make it real clean and posh and I would edit it together. I just wanted to make this raw because like the thing with pacing, that maybe I'm just being a crazy person and I don't understand how pacing works, but when I watched this, I went, what's the pacing here? Because it felt like a slog, right? But I didn't hate it. And I think the reason is because it's not necessarily a good like movie watching experience, but I don't think it works as like a mini TV show, right? Because 4 hours is a long time, and you could divide it into 4 parts. You can kind of see 4 parts to divide it, but like there aren't any like big logical points to do it, right? When you watch a series like WandaVision or Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which we're watching now, and all these other shows, it's like each episode is its own little thing that proceeds as the thing goes on. With this, there isn't that. It still structurally is a movie, right? It has a beginning, middle, end. It has the plot points leading up. It has the middle act, and it has the final act. And this still has that, but then also, oh my fucking god, it drags on for so long.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me present this question.
Yeah.
If you hadn't seen Justice League, would you think it's a better movie? Would you?
And I thought about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I still feel like it would feel like a drag. Because
You think so?
the last time I watched Justice League was in November of 2017 when it came out.
Right.
I tried to watch it afterwards, and I just never ended up doing that. I watched clips on YouTube here and there, but that was it. And I tried to get it out of my memory, right? I didn't rewatch Justice League in preparation for this, because I knew this would be kind of a slog. So I prepared myself to go in this open-minded, right? And even still, I found myself going, oh, what's going on? Because even the scenes that were in, like, Justice League, I was like, still, not all of them are terrible, because some of them are Snyder scenes. And it's like, but it still felt like that slog. And I can't really blame Snyder for that, because this is what he wanted to do. He wanted to do this 4-hour epic, and he did that, and he did that well enough that audiences seem to really love what he's done here, and I love a good amount of it too. But then that pacing issue really brings up something that I never really thought about with movies or with any TV show, is that why do some things feel draggy even though it doesn't seem like it should feel draggy, right? Whereas I watch episodes and episodes and episodes of TV at a time, and I don't feel like I'm wasting any time because I'm enjoying myself because of the way they're knit together. And I feel like with the way this was knit together, and I just feel like it was an exhaustive experience. And so that's my only big complaint.
Here's my take on the movie, I suppose, and through a question.
Yeah.
The way it is filmed, cinematographically, and the way the music score is, the way the songs are, the way the scenes are filmed in every aspect, it is an epic. It is filmed like an epic, right? Do you think the epic title is deserved for these characters as we know them now and as we knew them when the Justice League came out?
Not necessarily. Because even when Justice League came out, you felt that sense of these characters don't really deserve anything. And with this, the only character I can confidently say that with is Cyborg, right? Because Cyborg is a legit character in this, and I understand why Ray Fisher was pining for this so much, because he does something with his performance here.
Yes.
But then, like, other than that, I'm like, I don't give a shit about Aquaman. I don't. Jason Momoa is cool.
Yeah.
That's it.
Do you think that so let's assume that you believe, in your mind, that the characters are deserving of their epic proportions that they're given. Do you think at least the delivery of the epic proportions, the way it's choreographed, because that's Snyder's thing, right? He makes everything very epic.
Yeah.
You see 300, you see all these movies, you see BVS. It's very epic. And do you think at least the delivery was competent? Do you think Snyder is a good enough cinematographer to carry out those scenes if the writing was benefiting that?
I think so.
Complementing that?
The moments that land, the Flash scene in the Speed Force lands pretty well, I think. Right? Where that's an epic moment that he didn't do so much build up for, but he did enough build up for. And you see it, and it is like this. It's not exactly what it's like in the comic books, but it is a comic book incarnate, And I feel like that in and of itself works. And I feel like that's why a lot of why people love this movie is because he does those things, and he does them in full. He does Darkseid as full as he can. He does even Steppenwolf to a degree as full as he can. That fight with the Amazons is satisfying to watch, because that is something that you would imagine in this epic, and the way he does it is epic. I will say one thing though, because I was actually thinking about this. I didn't tell you about this, Scribe. But I was rewatching the Nightmare fight in BVS. I still enjoyed that fight more than a lot of other fights in this film. And I feel like I can't blame Snyder for that, because a lot of this film was post-production, and a lot of those action sequences for post-production, and a lot of the thing with, just doing aliens in general is you have to do CG monsters.
Do you think that Snyder's legacy, the pre-production, the post-production, the bull crap that he had to deal with, is a story in of itself, worthy of recognition?
I think, in a weird way, the story of the Snyder Cut is more interesting to me than the Snyder Cut itself. Yeah, I said that beforehand, and I still feel like that now.
Would you agree that you can respect the man for his persistence to carry out his vision?
I can, because
you can see his vision and say that, I agree or disagree, I think this is good or I think this is bad. You have to agree that this man has a persistence despite all his tragedy. Do you agree with that?
That's the thing, is because I read that Variety article, and I saw more wholly what he went through with this. And it's if I were in a situation, I would have, backed up and cried in a corner. That's what would have just happened. And I think the thing with Snyder, more so than any filmmaker, is you respect him so much, regardless of how much you disagree with his portrayal of the characters. And I think that's the thing, is he comes out and he talks about how he wanted Bruce and Lois to get together in his original plan, and we all shit on him for that, and we all have our takes on that, and I also have those takes, and then you try to understand what he's going for, and it's I see the passion in it, even though I don't agree with that idea, and I don't agree with a lot of the ideas even within the Snyder Cut. I see the passion in it, and that in and of itself is worth a lot to me.
Do you agree that despite whether, keep in mind, people think this is a masterpiece and people think this is utter trash and in between, despite where you lean towards this, do you agree that it is at least commendable to, I suppose, just associate Snyder with the consistent and persistent passion that he brings to this project?
I think so, yeah, because you see it in Man of Steel enough, you see it in BVS enough, and you see it in this film a lot, is these films are Snyder films. These films are him wholly doing what he wants to do, and that is something that I think so many people in this field aspire to do, that you gotta respect the man for going.
He writes what he writes. Yeah, he writes what he wants to.
High Top said this in a podcast a long time ago, and it still sticks with me. Zack Snyder made a film called BVS in 2015. It came out in 2016, and even to this day, it is the film that is talked about the most in terms of like DC entertainment. And that is commendable in itself, because he did so many things that he just wanted to do, that he just wanted to take and just let the ball rolling with that. And that's commendable in itself, to create something that causes this much discussion.
That's sort of the beauty of art, isn't it? That's sort of the beauty of art. It's that you can write something that is not universally, of course, because there's a lot of fan base that thinks BVS is perfect, or not even perfect, just a good movie, right? There's a lot of fan base that thinks it's a bad movie. There's varying opinions on this, but regardless of that, you can at least my takeaway on this, and tell me if this is yours, is that if you like something, then there's chances that there's a fan base that likes the same thing. So no matter what trash or masterpiece you make that is considered by the zeitgeist, there are people that will like it. And that's what art is, isn't it? It's about making things that people will like and will make their life or day just a little bit better.
Yeah, and that's I think that this did that for people. It's good that did this for people, because
as much as we crap on Snyder Cut, as much as we crap on Snyder, he was persistent. He had the moxie, I suppose, as you would say it in Night of the Museum too. He had the moxie to continue his crusade to make the story he wanted to tell. It doesn't matter whether you think it's good or not, right? Because art is purely subjective. You can't objectively state that this is a good movie or bad movie.
That's going to piss off some Twitter people. Don't say that.
If it pisses off some Twitter people, it's the definition of the matter. Yeah. You can't objectively say something is good, because good is in of itself a relative and opinionated term. Yeah. So,
I mean, that's the thing that Chris Stuckman said in his review that I watched of this, where he was like, there's stuff to hate about this, and there's stuff to break apart with this. Like, like Nordic Singing was fucking stupid.
I think you and I can both agree that the Nordic singing was pleasant to listen to.
It was pleasant to talk.
It was good singing. It was good folk singing.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of that kind of music.
Yeah. The thing is, as much as there is stuff I can go through and shit on and like all that stuff, I don't want to really at this point. It's like I'm very optimistic with the Snyder Cut. I don't know if they're gonna do the Snyderverse, and I don't know. But with what I was given, these past few days, I'm satisfied to the point that I can say I'm happy with what I got. So.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people are taking away from this. I don't spend too much time on Twitter, but from what I do, it seems like there's a fan base that really adores this film. And I think that's the best that we can ask for, right?
Yeah.
That Snyder makes a film that at least a large percent of his fans agree with. And I think a very large percent of his fans agree with. They enjoyed the film, and that's what art is. And to quote another underappreciated film, King Arthur, made by Guy Ritchie, the new one, the latest one, I suppose. It's not really new. Why have enemies when you can have friends? Why be enemies when you can be friends? Yeah. Why hate something when you can like something? Yeah. See, if you can hate something, but also you could like something. Mm. And I don't like things about this movie. You don't like things about this movie. But do you agree that there are things that you do like about this movie?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I mean, of course.
About you.
And I think that's the thing is I'm not going to put this above Endgame, or I'm not going to do any weird comparison shit like that.
Yeah, comparisons are kind of bullcrap in my
I don't care about that, because this is like a whole, it's movies, so I can't say it's like comparing apples to oranges, but it's kind of like comparing apples to oranges to me. Or that comparison just doesn't exist.
Endgame was a finale to a build-up of 10 years. Snyder Cut was a vision by one man that wasn't fulfilled.
It was a build-up of a man's vision, which in a way to some people is more poignant, and to some people is less poignant.
I agree.
That's different.
Snyder's vision and Snyder's legacy and Snyder's persistence towards this project is a tale to be told.
Of like all of this in a way.
Yeah, it's a tale. I mean, I don't hate Snyder, of course. He's not a bad man. I don't love him or anything, but I respect the man for what he has done, for what he tried to do and what he has done.
But
Any
This is
final?
Snyder Cut. I'm sorry. I didn't have anything else. What do you have? Are we supposed to rate it out of 10? That's what they do in like stuff.
I mean, honestly, numerical responses are kind of bullcrap because I feel like they change based on the mood.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Look, give it a grade. Give it a grade out of like A to F.
I'll give it I think I'll give it a B. A solid B. Because
Solid
it's like the exhaustion of watching it takes away a lot to me for me, because that's just me personally watching it. Was like I felt the exhaustion come on. But other than that, I mean, it was good. I enjoyed myself. So
Yeah.
that's,
That's good.
I still have nightmares about Justice League. I'm not gonna have nightmares about this.
Yeah, that's good. Would you say, final thoughts, would you say this is an upgrade or a downgrade from the original Justice League movie?
Why am I'm doing the clickbait thing of like thinking about it for, yeah, it's an upgrade. What the fuck?
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's wonderful. So
Bring back Joss Whedon! That's
No.
it. That's a joke. Cut it.